I made a Yu-Gi-Oh fan game. Yu-Gi-Oh is a trading card game released by Konami in 1999, based on the manga of the same name by Kazuki Takahashi, and later popularized around the world by its anime adaptation, helping it to eventually become not only one of the most popular trading card games in the world, but also one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time. So why make a Yu-Gi-Oh game? Although there has been many great Yu-Gi-Oh games throughout the years, some with unique spins on the way the game is played and others simplified for a more casual experience, none have quite scratched the itch I've been looking for, so I decided to make my own. So what is my game and how is it different? Duel Monsters Online, or DMO for short, was mostly inspired by some other Yu-Gi-Oh games I played as a kid. Notably Yu-Gi-Oh! Online, where you could customize your character, and a few games I played on a website called Beyond, those being Duel Monsters Genesis and Duel Monsters Expert. In those games, you could walk around, chat, and duel with other players. They didn't have instances. You could just casually see players dueling around the map. And that type of experience is what I wanted to capture in my game as well. Only, I wanted to take it a step even further, so I added actual models for all the monsters, and I plan to give visual effects to most of the spells and traps as well. I also wanted to give it that old school Yu-Gi-Oh feel, like playing at lunch tables in school with whatever random cards you had, and not just meta decks that people looked up online. As such, players don't get access to every card to start with. First, you drop your deck of mostly pretty bad cards by choosing what types and attributes you want in your pool. Then you select a signature monster. You don't get all monsters to choose from, however. Each player gets a unique selection and a few random high-rarity monsters to encourage deck diversity. You can progress your deck by dueling and opening packs or finding cards around the map.
This duel is 2 against 2. Each player takes a separate turn, but players on the same team must work together to defeat the opposing team.
I've always felt that alternative duel types have been underexplored in Yu-Gi-Oh games. In the anime, there was an occasional duel that featured more than just 2 players, like when Yugi and Kaiba dueled Loomis and Umbra, or the free-for-all during the Battle City semifinals. But in the actual games, there's not many cases of anything besides one-on-one duels. In Master Duel, the team battles are actually just separate one-on-ones. The closest you get is the tag duels in the Tag Force games, but even then they're not the same as the anime. In those games, you take turns switching control of the same field, and you share the same life points, which is fine, but to me it left much to be desired. In DMO, there are various game modes you can play. 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, 3, 4, 5, and 6 player free-for-alls, uneven duels like when the protagonists duel Paradox, which are 1v2s, 1v3s, and 2v3s, and there's also a 3 and 4-way tag duel option, as in 3 or 4 teams of 2 duel in a free-for-all. You can also choose the amount of life points you want to duel with. Currently, the options are 8,000, which is the standard in the actual game, 4,000 like in the anime, 2,000 like in early Duel Monsters, and 16,000, which I added since they were used in Konami's official tag duel format. The rules are pretty self-explanatory. When a player is defeated in any of those duel types, their hand is sent to the graveyard and all cards on their field are destroyed, but the duel continues until only one side is remaining. In tag duels, you contribute your teammates' monsters for summons and use them as fusion materials provided they're currently on the field. However, you can't use cards from their hands or perform actions with cards on their fields, like attacking with their monsters or switching their monsters' positions. If a player's life points reaches 0, they will still be considered a winner if their teammate wins the duel. Some cards work in specific ways in non-one-on-one duels. Raigeki or Mirror Force, for example, only affect specific players, with Raigeki being the player you target and Mirror Force being the player who was attacking. Same for other similar cards. Other cards like Dark Hole or Heavy Storm affect all players. Generally, any card that references both players will affect everyone, and cards that say your opponent will make you choose. This game isn't strictly just a dueling simulator. In some of those old games I mentioned, there were roleplay servers hosted by community members with their own storylines and settings. So in the spirit of those, I added some role-playing features to my game as well. I tried to make the character creation as robust as possible, with options to change your age, height, and body type, as well as many different types of clothing and hairstyles, including some from characters in the show. There's also plenty of facial options and sliders to mess with, so each character can feel like an individual. As for the actual in-game elements, there's of course proximity chat, where your character's mouth moves as you talk, and you can play various animations and expressions both in and out of duels. There's also cut-ins like in the anime, where you can either pan the camera to yourself or just add a reaction to the corner of the screen. Later on, I plan on adding actual odd jobs you can do around the map as ways to earn money besides just dueling. But currently there are still some spots players can go to with roleplay potential, such as a high school, restaurant, police department, a casino which currently has blackjack implemented, a bank, a clothing shop, and a vehicle shop. The vehicle shop currently lets you buy a few different types of cars and dual runners, and you can customize the colors as well. Turbo dueling isn't implemented yet as the game is primarily DM focused right now, but I figured if I was adding regular bikes, I might as well add duel runners instead.
Wow, this looks like a pretty cool game, but I wonder how you play it.
Yugi, come on!
This is probably the question I get asked the most. So the game isn't currently open as I still have a lot of bugs to fix and things to optimize, but once I finish those, I'll be doing a beta test with community members. And when the game is fully released, it'll be its own standalone download via website or Discord. If you would like to receive updates on the game or give any suggestions, feel free to join the Discord in my description. And if you would like to follow development, I occasionally stream on my Twitch account, which is also linked below. I also have a Patreon if you want to support that way, as some of these model commissions can get pretty expensive. But that's about it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more DMO content. Until next time.